Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Happy Labor Day weekend and welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, AARP in Ohio empowers older adults. We'll update you on their activities. Then, it's almost autumn, time to fall in love with your smile. The rule changes for Medicaid have increased eligibility issues. A unique annuity could be one answer. We'll explain. Plus, how's your health? We'll offer advice to prevent problems. And we'll emphasize the importance of identifying beneficiaries.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. It's back to school time, and as students crack the books, it's often discovered that some children fall through the cracks when it comes to refining their reading. And that's where you can help. Ross Jones is here to teach us about AARP's Experience Corps, which is operated through Greater Cleveland Volunteers. Ross is the program manager. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being here.
What is AARP's Experience Corps?
AARP Experience Corps is a program that is, we've been associated with Cleveland Municipal School District for about 18 years, and we engage seniors 50 and above to help tutor kindergarten through third grade kids in literacy.
Okay.
We've been doing that for quite some time, and the kids that we have, we want to get them to be able to read by the time they get to the third grade.
Why is that important?
Because mainly if a child does not be able to read in the fourth grade, the likelihood of them graduating when they get to high school, they will not graduate.
Oh dear, so it's
important.
Really important.
Exactly.
And you do that through these volunteer tutors.
That's correct. We have a number of tutors. Last year we had about 150 some tutors tutoring kindergarten through third grade kids in 17 Cleveland schools.
Boy.
And we try to recruit all year long as many tutors as we can get.
So you need more, I'm assuming.
We never have enough tutors, I'll tell you that right now. We lose them for various reasons. And so we have these tutors, they tutor from all the way from September all the way to May, so it's a big commitment, but they're committed, so we appreciate all that they do.
So what is the benefit for the volunteers?
A lot of benefits. One is they love working with the children. They love being out in the school, in the community, working with their peers. And we have tutors who have worked in the program for over 15 years.
Boy.
So the return rate is very high.
And the kids really benefit.
The kids, for the most part, that's our main focus. They get a chance to be with an older adult. We also, in addition to tutoring, there's a mentoring aspect. Their behavior is better, their class participation is better, and again, their scores and their reading level goes up.
It just helps everybody. What kind of time commitment do the volunteers have to make?
We had a drastic change this year. We had tutors who used to commit to 10 to 15 hours a week for 7 months. This year there's going to be some changes. So this year it's 4 hours or 6 hours a week, and they tutor a minimum of twice a week. So that's basically what they have to commit to.
So they get training?
They get training. They go through the interview process, application. We do a background check, FBI, BCI. We don't throw them in what we call cold turkey.
That's good. I get a little confidence for those tutors.
Yes.
You also have something called a Books for Kids program. Tell us about that.
That is correct. Basically, we collect books from a variety of sources. Books for Kids donates books to us, half-price books, individuals, companies. And what happens is we take those books and we distribute them to the students at the 17 schools. Christmas time, they get books. Easter break, they get books. And then we
instead of candy?
And at the end of the school year, we do a summer packet for them to take home to carry them over until school starts. So we distribute about 5,000 books a year. Yeah.
That is so great. How do people get involved?
Basically, if they want to get involved, either want more information, or if they want to become a tutor, which is our main focus, or they want to donate books or have a book drive. We have book drives also, and then they just send the books to us. They can reach me at 216-391-9500, extension 119.
Alrighty, and I think we have up on the screen too a website that they can go to also if they're computer people.
That's correct.
Thank you so much for this great information.
Well, thank you for having me.
You can make a huge difference in a child's life and your own by becoming a volunteer tutor. So if you feel like a classroom is calling you, be sure to call Greater Cleveland Volunteers and sign up. Use the information that Ross gave us or the number that's coming up next. My thanks to Ross for a wonderful lesson in how to help others.
Thank you very much.
For more information, call AARP Ohio at 866-389-5653 or click to www.aarp.org/Ohio. Next, say so long to summer with a smile. But first, you know the rule about wearing white only before Labor Day. Well, there's a history behind this style statement. Do you know why this color is set aside solely for the summer season? We'll address the answer when we return.
Let's all wake up to better health. Breathe it in and let it all out. Find a partner, an ally, a MetroHealth doctor who will listen as long as it takes, so you can celebrate every day by living it your way. Get your physical, checkup, regular screening at MetroHealth and wake up every day to better health. Change is healthy.
In the early 1900s, white was worn by those who were well-to-do, while the working class was clad in darker colors to get their jobs done. So the white style could have served as a status symbol, a look for those at leisure, while those who labored languished in drab-colored duds.
This Labor Day weekend, we're all smiles because we can rest from our work. And here's more good news. If you want your smile to really shine, you don't have to labor so hard to make it happen. Dentist Steve Marsh is here with simple ways to get a better smile.
Hi,
So welcome
nice
back.
to be back. Thanks, Lori.
Simple sounds good. So what are some of the options?
Well, you know, sometimes we've shown all sorts of cases and all sorts of patients, but sometimes it's just a matter of somebody coming in and they want their teeth brighter, or they want them reshaped, or they want something covered up, and so that's when we use whitening and bonding and veneers. And today, Lori, we're going to show lots of pictures, I think, that will help explain in the best way we can.
Well, here we go.
This is actually a young woman who came to me this week. It's not a very drastic change, but she knew her right front tooth was longer than her left front tooth, viewers left. And she also didn't like the way her lower teeth had developed. Now, Lori, she was somebody who had braces as a child, and as most kids do, teenager, they go to college, come back, she didn't wear a retainer, the teeth shifted quite a bit. So on the lowers, we just reshaped them. We then made her a retainer and asked her to wear it pretty often, at least every other night. And then some bonding, reshaping, and whitening made that smile just beautiful. Very simple. We did it in about an hour, 2 hours.
Boy.
So let's focus for the moment on the lower teeth. So the lower teeth were very uneven. He's more in our age group, Lori. He said, what can we do simply? I'm showing more of my teeth as I talk to friends, because that happens when you get older. Everything drops and you start to show more of the lower. So we did a little reshaping, and then in the uppers, you can see they were discolored. He had had some bonding before he came to me, and he said it kept chipping, and it had to do with his bite. So by fixing the lowers, we changed his bite, and in the upper front teeth, we did 4 porcelain veneers. And I have to tell you, when you see him smile now, he is a very different guy. And his wife was an old high school friend of mine, so it's been a nice way for us to reconnect.
Sure. So now what if you need a little bit more work than that, but you still don't want to spend a whole lot of time and effort?
Okay, so we can do porcelain veneers and porcelain crowns, and we'll show some cases where we did that. And those things can be done in about a 2-week period. Your viewers may remember Janie. She was here in July with me. She had been a teacher, or was still a teacher and a director of a preschool program, had worn her teeth down. This is very common in our age group, from brushing and literally from grinding at night. And that's a very simple fix with 6 porcelain veneers. We did it over a 2-week period. There are things like care credit. There's some ways we can do 12 months no interest, and that helped her a lot. So you mentioned some are simple, some are not so simple. So this is a woman in her 70s. You can see how dark her teeth had gotten, and they had shifted quite a bit. Had not had braces. And so we did porcelain veneers in the front, and in the back we did porcelain crowns. I will tell you, in her case, she said, Steve, I want them as white as I can get, and that's what we used.
Wow,
porcelain.
yeah.
And today we can really get to any color the patient wants.
Well, how about if there's missing teeth? Are there simple things there too?
Yeah, and I'm going to try and do this quickly because there's really 3 ways, and this is the first way. This is a patient who came to me last year. By the way, that upper crown is not mine. It would have matched a lot better. But he was missing lower teeth. He wore an old partial with metal and hooks, and it kept fracturing. We made him a lower partial. It replaced the teeth in the back part of the mouth and the front. No metal at all. It's called a Flexite partial. It's flexible. It's light. It looks natural. He could not believe the result. And here's somebody who had lost her lower back teeth. Those are implants and a bridge on top to close the space up. She wanted something permanent that she could really enjoy and really chew with, and that's what we were able to do. And this last patient is a guy who, again in his 70s, was missing some teeth on the upper right, had some old porcelain on metal crowns, hated the way his lower teeth looked, and so in the top we did veneers, and in the back implants, and on top of implants crowns, again all porcelain, and porcelain veneers in the bottom. So whether we go from something very simple or very complex, it can be done in a time period and in a way that works for the patient. And that's one of the things we do in learning about each other when we sit together.
Excellent information. Now, with all of these options, you can work your smile without a lot of effort. To find out more, give Steve a call. His number's next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, how your money affects Medicaid. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. This party is 200 years in the making, so take a trip back in time and party like they did in the past at Lake Township Bicentennial Celebration. On September 10th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., enjoy games, demonstrations, vintage treasures, and more. For tips to tap into this time travel, call 330-877-3308 or visit www.discoverhartville.com.
We know that when a spouse enters a nursing home, you have to spend down almost all your assets to qualify for Medicaid. But what if there was another option? Greg Hennis is here with news on how you might be able to save thousands of dollars from your retirement investments, yet still meet Medicaid qualifications. Greg is the president of Gateway Advisors. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So before we talk about this new option, tell us again what the Medicaid qualification is like.
Well, to qualify for Medicaid, you have to spend down all of your assets all the way down to $1,500. The good news is that there's exclusions to what you have to spend down. For example, married couples can keep the house that they live in, one automobile, household goods and personal property, irrevocable funeral trusts and prepaid burial contracts, and 50% of their financial assets up to a maximum of $119,220. Anything above that would have to be spent down.
Okay, now when you're talking about financial assets, that means IRAs and 401ks and other things like that too, correct?
Right, but until just recently, you had to spend down your 401ks and IRAs before you would become eligible for Medicaid. The most common way that most couples did this was to use their retirement funds to pay for the nursing home bills. Mm-hmm. So let's say you had $200,000 in an IRA or a 401k, and the nursing home, is costing you $10,000 a month. You could literally, burn through your retirement funds in, less than 2 years.
Yeah, not long. So what's changed?
Well, thanks to Ohio Medicaid eligibility procedure letter number 112.
They don't even make the name of it easy.
I know. We can now use a Medicaid compliant annuity to convert the IRA and 401k into an income stream with the goal of immediately qualifying for Medicaid, so that Medicaid will pay either all or part of your nursing home costs.
Oh, okay. What's a Medicaid compliant annuity?
Well, what that is it's a contract with an insurance company that converts a financial asset into an income stream.
Okay, sounds good, but there has to be a catch, right?
Well, there's always a catch, right? So the catch here is that you can't just use any annuity. Per the State of Ohio Administrative Code, the annuity has to have these attributes. First of all, it has to be irrevocable. You can't change any part of the annuity contract or surrender it. It has to be non-assignable. So you can't sell the annuity to a third party, like some of the companies you may see on TV that want to buy annuities, et cetera. It has to be actuarially sound, so the term of the annuity cannot exceed the person's life expectancy. Equal payments, basically pretty simple there. The monthly income you receive from the annuity must be the same amount each month. And the state of Ohio has to be named as a beneficiary, but only up to the recovery costs for what was provided by the nursing home.
Well, doesn't that mean that if the spouse in the nursing home dies first, that the spouse at home is left out in the cold, the money all goes to the state?
Well, no. First in line would be the surviving spouse, and depending on the annuity, payments would continue to the spouse. The whole goal here is to help the surviving spouse stay in their home and their community.
Okay, so I'm assuming that an existing annuity may not cut it?
Well, not necessarily. The annuity that you own, if you currently own an annuity, it would also have to comply with the State of Ohio's Administrative Code. If not, then the funds would have to actually be transferred over to a Medicaid compliant annuity. One of the easiest ways to tell if you own if your annuity is compliant or not is if it allows for a change of beneficiary, then it's not, Medicaid compliant.
Okay. I wish we had more time to talk about it. It sounds like a great idea. This Medicaid compliant annuity could help you maintain income while still qualifying for Medicaid. To find out if this option is right for you, give Craig a call. His number's next.
Find out more by calling Gateway Advisors at 440-709-6563 or log on to www.gateway-advisors.net. Next, doctor's orders. It's time to get up and go, an exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Harbin from Breakout Fitness. Today we're here to show you how to do an exercise band abduction. This is going to work the muscles in the outer thighs. These muscles are very important because not only do they help us get around and move, but should we stumble, those are the muscles that are going to help catch us. You ready to go?
Yeah, and this is necessary.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to grab the band here. We're going to stand in the center of the band with our feet together. We want to make sure we're standing nice and tall. Let our hands hang to the side, and we're simply going to open wide and take one step to the side and then bring the feet together. Okay, so one big step, bring them together. Now let's go back the other way a couple steps, switch, bring them together. Now it's important to control the movements. Okay, you want to make sure you use slow and controlled movements. Don't let your legs bang together. How you feeling?
Feels pretty good.
Good? You got stronger legs already, huh?
Yes, I do.
All right, everybody, 12 to 15 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
No one wants to go to the hospital, but MetroHealth is working to make any patient's medical experience the best and the most comfortable it can be. How do they do that? Dr. Sarah Lasky has joined us in MetroHealth studio to tell us. Dr. Lasky is Vice President and Chief Patient Experience Officer at MetroHealth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what we're talking about at MetroHealth is patient-centered care. What exactly does that mean?
What we're working towards at Metro and what we've been working towards for the past few years is really putting the patient and what happens with the patient at the center of what we do and all the decisions that we make. So we are focusing on process improvement and thinking about the patient when we are designing process and when we are making decisions and creating experiences.
Okay, so what does that actually look like? How do you put that into practice?
Well, we've done a lot of different things. So we have created a patient and family advisory council. We are doing training around the patient and patient experience. We are doing communication training. We are doing really teaching that patients' perception of their care is critical, and that can be different for every patient. And
perception is reality, right?
Perception can be reality, and that is really important.
Do you have some examples for us?
Absolutely. So a really good example of how we've changed how we're taking care of patients is when we started, we didn't have a visitation policy, or we didn't have an overnight visitation policy. And once we had our patient and family advisory group in place, we started to look at how important it is for patients to have somebody from their family with them overnight. And so we talked to the nurses, we talked to the providers, and with the help of patients and families, we have now convinced and changed that policy so that every patient can have a caregiver with them all the way through. And we're opening our new critical care pavilion with a place for a family member or someone important to every patient with them all the way through the night.
That's definitely patient-centered.
It's very patient-centered.
Do you have committees that these people help advise as well?
We do. So we have, our patient and family advisory group has almost 65 members on it, and they sit on advisory groups throughout the hospital, ethics committees, they are on subcommittees of our board of trustees, they are on advisory groups that are making changes everywhere from the OR to OBGYN throughout the entire hospital.
So how does the input come from the patients, like surveys and things like that?
Well, patients do fill out surveys, and we are also, so the patients fill out surveys after they are in the hospital, and so we encourage every patient to fill out that survey because that feedback is very important to us. And we are also embarking on what we are calling transparency. And so the transparency, we are posting our reviews and ratings online on our website. Reviews and ratings can be difficult and challenging, as it can be hard for anyone to be reviewed, but it's really important that the voice of the patient is heard, because that can both change behavior and change how we do things. Luckily, most of our reviews and ratings are incredibly positive.
That's great.
But we look at everything. We look at everything that our patient says. The voice of the patient is critical in how we do business.
All right. Making every experience patient-centered is one more way MetroHealth is proving that change is healthy. My thanks to Dr. Lasky for making our experience such a good one.
To learn more, call MetroHealth at 216-778-7800 or visit their website, www.metrohealth.org. Next, make sure your money benefits your beneficiaries.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
Other than your house, the largest asset for most people is their retirement account. But many people forget to focus on their retirement accounts when they do their estate planning. There are many mistakes that can be made and that can cause you a lot of problems. Here to discuss these important issues is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hello, Lori.
So welcome back. Now, if I have an IRA, it seems pretty simple to me. You know, I name my beneficiaries on the form, and how much harder can it be than that?
Okay, you're right. Well, first of all, if with an IRA or 401k or an annuity, if you fill out that beneficiary form properly, you can avoid probate. The problem is you have to remember the beneficiary form trumps the will. So if your will says I give everything to my son, and your beneficiary form says it goes to my daughter, on your death, it goes to your daughter. So you want to make sure you fill that out correctly. Secondly, you want to make sure you fill out both a primary beneficiary and a contingent beneficiary. If you fill it out and then the primary beneficiary passes away prior to you, then you don't have to do anything. If you don't get around to changing the form and then you pass away, it'll go to your contingent beneficiary. And if you don't have that, it could end up having to probate your IRA and the 401k, et cetera. So you want to do that.
Okay, so I have a 401k or a retirement account or an annuity. I name my husband first and then my children. So what's the big deal?
Well, again, in most situations that works smoothly. But let me give you a different scenario. Let's say a husband names his wife, primary, his children, 2 children, let's say contingent beneficiaries. Prior to his death, his wife passes away and one of his children. So now what happens? Husband dies, money goes to, does it go to the surviving child or does it go to the grandchildren of that predeceased child? There's no right or wrong answer to that, but you need to make the decision and make it clear in the document so there's no arguments.
Okay, so now I have these accounts. I fill out the beneficiary form, name my husband the primary beneficiary, my children as a contingent beneficiary, and I specify who gets what if one of the children dies. So that should be it, right?
Well, almost. Okay, so you name your spouse the primary beneficiary and you get a divorce. Now, Ohio law says for your IRAs and your annuities that, in essence, that divorced spouse is dead. Okay, which may be what you want. So, they don't get anything. But the 401k is governed by federal law, ERISA. And ERISA says if you name that spouse the beneficiary, we don't care if you're divorced or not, she's going to get that money. So you want to address that, make sure you don't have money go where you don't want it to go.
I guess it is more complicated than I thought. You need to think carefully on how to handle your IRAs, 401ks, and annuities to make sure your assets go where you want with the least amount of problems. If you have any questions, please call Mike.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, you don't need to sign up for surgery, but you do need help to manage your muscle pain. There's a doc for that, and we'll introduce you. Then if you're a boomer or beyond, we have innovative ideas to enjoy this time of your life. And Money Matters will help you make the most of it. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.